My goal of 10,000 books by March 7th. I told you about, what did I say there? Relate and show content from the book. Tell y'all about all the bonuses I'm giving away until March 7th, which is like 2 video chapters of our master class from it, 1 PDF that you get right away as soon as you order. How about this one? You already saw it a little bit. Friends share. Ta-da! Mike from the Fit Farmer. His shirt says it all.
We're good.
Mike, an old-time friend, here for many reasons. To hang out, to be on our podcast, to do a feature on us, help promote the book. What's your idea for your story?
Today I want to see, since all the animals and things you got going on, what all you do during the winter, just cooler season when it's not so glamorous.
Yeah, cool. I like it. So what I'll do, I'll try to stay out of your way with my vlog. I'll get some shots of you in action. That sound good?
Sounds good.
And then folks can go to your channel and check it out.
Alrighty.
All right. Mike, you getting a shot of this, filling up the buckets?
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna get a shot of you getting a shot of me. Ooh, yeah. It's easy. Pigs next to the chicken. They complement each other. This is a sheep ram. So we don't want him breeding the ladies. We want to breed the ladies in the fall, so we have spring babies. And then we have what I call a bullette or bullito. Look at those guys. How you doing? I want to show you guys something. She's got a little tip, a little white on the tip of her tail. But she's obvious, I keep calling her she. She's so little, but it's a he. Good one, Polly, good one. My buddy Mike has already reviewed the book.
The Rooted Life from my friend Justin Rhodes.
It's really cool to see a book that our friends wrote and tell their story and just see where they came from and how they've grown and changed, and now they can help other people.
That is really neat to flip through here and to see pictures of their homestead. It touches me. It's like, because I want to rejoice with those who are rejoicing and you mourn with those who mourning.
Also, our friends Jessica at Roots and Refuge.
This has been sitting on my table since it came in yesterday because I wanted to open it on camera. My friend Justin wrote this beautiful book called The Rooted Life. It's so pretty. Beautiful photos. And it's a really great book. Justin, congratulations on this. I love the Rhodes family. They're very dear friends of ours. They have really blazed a path as far as content creation in the homesteading world.
One cool thing Jonah told me is he put on his audiobook this morning and my book was playing, my audiobook. We got it on Audible, so that means it's out. That means anybody who pre-ordered that, it's out, it's available. The audiobook. Who's an audiobook fan? For the Dixons, let's do, they were talking about how much they like lamb. Well, let's have Greek tonight. My buddy Morgan Gold just did a TikTok book review.
The Rooted Life is now available, and I'm just looking at this book, and it is just absolutely amazing. Photography is beautiful. It's a great story. It's a combination of motivation as well as how-to. It's just super impressive, and I'm so proud of my friend for putting this thing out.
Well, don't mind the piano music. It's keeping Henry happy. Just got on a podcast yesterday with my buddy Jill Winger from the Old Fashioned on Purpose podcast. And at 10, I gotta start getting ready for that real soon. Mark at Inside Editions podcast. Pretty big podcast, I'm excited. Going on that. Actually, as a homesteader, I want to be out doing the crop gardens. But that's not my job, per se. My job is creating content. This book is the latest piece. And by the way, we're working hard this week till March 7th. We've got bonuses. And then I'm gonna cool off on it. So if you've already bought the book and you're like, when's he gonna shut up about the book? Soon. I'm just very excited. I want to spread the word. I want to make sure everybody gets it that wants it. It's gonna really change people's lives. So bear with me. March 7th is an important date. Lots of bonuses for folks that order by then. And then we'll cool off and just let the let it speak for itself. I really think it's one of those books that's going to spread by word of mouth once people get it. I don't give enough margin in my life. That's 15 minutes before the podcast is probably not enough, but there's so much to do. I know you guys can relate. You guys all have jobs. This is my job, creating content. So there's that pool with me too. You know, I only have so much time to actually do the homesteading stuff. And today is one of those days. 10 o'clock podcast. Then Mike's here. He's 2 hours drive for him. He's here, so it's like, well, let's get a video podcast from him for Abundance Plus, because we don't know when he's coming back, you know, type of thing. So let's do that after lunch from 1 until, and then it's time to prep for dinner. So I'm kind of found some stuff today for that garden project, and maybe we could find some time or do it in the morning. Although I never found our long tape, Josiah. Did you ever find our long measuring tape? Okay. Let's get the hose off this water. Mike, did you get the content you needed this morning?
Yeah, I sure did.
I think you did good. You asked good questions. It's a good piece. We learned, what do you do? Because we ended up talking more about cows.
Yeah.
We talked about the winter stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Do you pivot there? Or do you keep with the original idea?
I usually somewhat keep up with the original idea. I think we got what we needed.
You're
You guys got a pretty good operation going.
Good.
In the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'll set out to film something, and I think I know what the movie's going to be about. But then other things happen, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe it was about something else.
Yeah, I do the same.
Here you go, Mike.
All right.
For staying here.
Yummy, yummy.
We'll see you at lunch. I just wrapped up a podcast with Mark at Inside Ideas. He's still on. I said we're going to want to say hello. So this is how it works, guys. I've got my main camera here shooting on me. I've got a light up there going. You can see how it looks pretty good, right, Mark?
It looks fabulous.
Yeah, we zoomed it.
It's real life.
In the beginning, right? We zoomed it in and out to try to match up our heads there. And you asked some good questions, Mark. What's your big takeaway from our conversation for your own journey?
I like chapter 9 a lot. Rooted as a family. That's the best part of the book. As far as our podcast that I like the most is where you answer the question, what does a world that works for everyone look like for you? And you said freedom. And it's freedom because you're self-sustaining. You're a subsistence homesteader. You're growing your own food, which is like printing your own money. Yep. And if you do your homeschooling and home life and you create this new environment, that is true freedom. And most people don't realize it.
This is a fun interview. This is going to be going up on, where do you want people to go? This is coming up tomorrow on YouTube and the podcast platforms?
It'll be all over social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Inside Ideas will do an article on Apple News, so it'll be all over.
Well, this comes out tomorrow, which is the same day you're putting out the podcast, so folks can go check it. All right.
Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Justin.
Mark.
You take care.
All right. That was great talking to Mark. Great conversation. I encourage you guys to check that out. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's out. I just pulled it up. It is out. Hardcover, Amazon Prime. Let's go back. I'm going to show you something. When I search for it, there's the audiobook. We got a review. Our first review. Hey, we got 5 stars. That's so helpful too, by the way. If you guys have already gotten the book, would you do me a solid and go review it? Or when you get the book, like if you've already bought it, when you get it, go give a review. It helps. It helps with the ratings. It helps with the... How do I read this review?
March 12th.
See all customer reviews. Oh, I hope Amber's watching this. Thank you, Amber. Close to my heart. First review. Popular homestead YouTuber Justin Rhodes shares insight on working within nature to produce your own sustenance and live a more abundant and connected life. As someone who believes in biophysical, social-emotional well-being, it was awesome to find a book that provided health and wholeness tips through nutrition. We do not realize how much we eat influences who we are and how we live. I would definitely recommend this book to all health gurus. Did you hear that, Rebecca?
What?
Our first review.
That's fun.
I just read our first review. I'm going to say that's helpful.
Another good way to overcome a lack of knowledge is to seek out know-how from others. For example, Rebecca seems to have a knack for finding just the right author at just the right time.
That's me. I'm on audiobooks.
Salad.
Mike's going to get our book. Before you go, Mike, this is going to be our podcast. You guys comfortable? We're just going to have a conversation.
It's good.
Right off the top, what's the meaning of life?
Wow.
Okay, we'll warm you up. We'll warm you up first. All right. See ya. We just wrapped up the podcast. What's the big takeaway, Lacey? What's the big word of advice for the folks out there?
Be the change in the world that you want to see.
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's a little motto there.
Mike has already come up with a new TV series.
Yeah.
Be change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exclusively on Abundance
And
Plus.
I know him well enough that he's you could probably bet on this that it's actually going to happen.
Agree.
He put up his first TikTok today.
Yeah.
Next step, you're on TV series
There we go.
on Abundance Plus.
Do these guys ever make mistakes? As you've already seen, you're not going to wonder the same thing about Justin or Rebecca.
It sounds great.
This was our sound engineer at the audiobook. That's how I got to know you. Now I've hired you to do these video podcasts.
Yeah, it's a
So
lucky thing.
that's fun. There it is. It released today.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You have to buy it. I had to buy it. So,
I'll buy it.
I'm the
I'll
author,
buy
I had to
two.
buy it.
I'll get one for my parents too.
All right.
Anything I've had anything to do with, they have to have at least one copy.
Yeah. All right. Good. These guys, I remembered to cover them at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was already frosted.
I think everything looks good.
Okay. These guys are already a bit fragile, but yeah, I don't think they're any worse. Yeah, Mike's pointed out they need water, and that's true. This soil's drier than the other one. Mr. Henry,
He did,
give
he
him a
had
piece
some.
of lamb, Mom.
He already had it. He loved
He
it.
wants it. You chewing it? You gumming it? Yay! What do you think, Lacey? Oh, you're documenting it. Making an Insta story?
Something like that. We'll see how it goes. Who are you giving that one to?
Let us know what you think. Looks pretty. Yay! There it comes.
2 thumbs up.
How long's it been? You've had lamb.
It's been a while. We haven't
Nice.
had lamb in a while.
All right.
It's really good.
Enjoy.